I am Jackson 360. I am your platform partner, and I want to talk to Toastmasters, specifically Toastmasters leaders during contest season. This video and this information should be a mandatory watch. So pay attention and listen. Now, I want to share with you some basic stuff about the club contest that will help. One, you get more people to participate in the contest. Two, the people who do participate, they're going to have a more fun experience and a more growth experience. And three, you probably, you as a leader, you'll be able to achieve your agenda and your goals as well in the process. So first of all, I'm speaking from a person who I joined Toastmasters with the intention of solely competing. That's the only reason I even joined Toastmasters, because I wanted to become a competitive speaker, because I knew the fastest way to grow was to enter these contests, because you put more pressure on yourself. Because if you want to learn more, you got to just expose yourself to the fire. So I joined Toastmasters to overcome my fears, specifically by joining international speech contests. My very first speech, my icebreaker speech, I took it all the way to the district in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. I went to the district. My very second year, I took my second speech and I went to the semifinals, down in Las Vegas. So I did very well. I've been mentored and made products with a lot of the world champion speakers, many to name, like Craig Valentine, Darren LaCroix, Edward Hearn, Ed Tate, and many, many more. And so I'm telling you this from a person who has a lot of experience being in various different contests. And I got a whole nother different level on how I see this. Now, I'm going to get directly to the information. After you know a little bit about me, right? I've been a Toastmaster since 2010. Been a leader. One thing that I want to tell all of the leaders is that you must stop putting pressure on your contestants. Stop putting unnecessary extra weight on them. And you may say, well, Jackson, what do you mean? How am I putting pressure? What do you mean? Listen, you may not be aware of it, but when you setting up extra high expectations for your contestants, for example, I've had leaders approach me and they'll say, okay, Jackson, so you're going to be in the contest. This is the district level. Don't let us down. You better make sure you bring home the trophy. Everybody's depending on you. We all need for you to win. You better win. Like when you as the leader are taking this contest way too serious, and you may be like saying it in a joking way, but when you communicate that to the contestants, especially a brand new, it can be a novice, or it can be a neophyte. A neophyte or a Socraton, someone who's been doing it like a veteran for a long time. These people, you putting extra pressure on them. That's not fun. And now this is why people don't want to join these contests, because they already don't want to be judged. Then they don't want the pressure. Then they don't want to be responsible for like the fate or the face of the club. So we have to make this contest should be fun. Let me tell you something. The purpose of this contest, of all of these international humorous contests, evaluation contests, whichever one, table topics, they are designed to help people grow. When do people grow the most? Typically, it's when they're having fun. They grow the most when they don't even know that they're trying to grow. Does that make sense? Like, think about a child. Kids learn a lot primarily because they learn when they're having fun. They learn ABCs by singing a song, right? They learn most of their things as a young age by drawing pictures, looking at examples, becoming activated. It's like it's like they're having fun to a certain extent where they're able to absorb and soak in the information on a much deeper level. If we need to apply that same thing to adults competing in a contest, have fun with it. When you get a person that's going to compete in your group, here's what you tell them. Tell them, enjoy yourself. Tell them that you're not competing against anyone else. Even though there's other speakers, at the end of the day, you are just competing against you. So have fun. You already won just because you're here. Your journey is already, this is just another day for you to just enhance your skills. It's just you versus yourself to see if you can master yourself. That's it. Tell them to enjoy themselves. Let loose. It doesn't matter if they win or if they get a trophy or not. That does not determine if they had a winning experience. You see, when you do that, you set up a whole nother expectation, whole nother dynamic. Now this person could really just let loose, go on stage. See, most people, they're able to be themselves more and let things out when they don't know like a camera is rolling. Like if you just talk to a person candidly and there's no camera rolling, they'll be loose, they'll be comfortable. But as soon as you pull out a camera and you say, all right, we're recording, then they immediately start getting tensed up. They start overthinking and analyzing. And that's the same thing. Like when you start putting pressure on people in these contests, they're overthinking, they're overanalyzing, right? They're being stiff and stuck and they're not really growing. This is why you can see someone in a contest that's normally very live and vibrant, but then once they're on the stage, it's like they're a shell of themselves. You're like, what happened? What happened? And I've been in these situations. I've seen people that just take this stuff super serious. And then we had this one guy in the club. He competed at the club level, he competed and he made it to the division level. And this was a guy in his 20s, and his past, he had not really done a lot of team sports or competitive things in his life. And so ultimately what happened is when he didn't win first, second, or third place, he ended up quitting the club. Like it hurt him. He was devastated. He was devastated when he didn't place because he really thought he gave a winning speech. Now, I'll be honest, his speech was good, but it wasn't a winning speech. He didn't really know, he wasn't really trained what a winning speech should really sound like. But in his mind, he was not prepared to losing because it's like this contest meant so much to him. And let me tell you, I've been there. Like, again, I joined Toastmasters with the purpose, with the intent of competing. So because I knew it was going to affect my confidence and affect me becoming a better salesperson and impact me with the ability to pay my rent or take care of my family and grow and make money. And so Toastmasters, when you put too much pressure on people, you don't know what they're going through outside and what this contest means to them. So adding extra weight is not a good thing at all. So I want to really encourage you for people, if you want to get more people involved in this contest, try to make it as fun. Incentivize them and say, yeah, whoever competes, we're going to have a blast. We're going to, you're going to get like a free gift card just for competing, or, we're going to give you some free, whatever it may be, candy bars or lottery tickets. Just give them something that's nice. Just make it fun. And the more that they're having fun, I mean, you'll see everything change. Now, if they don't get first, second, or third, it's cool. It was a fun experience. We took pictures. We had a blast. But the moment we're making this thing too serious, you got to win. Hey, let's be real. Toastmasters is not paying anybody any cash prizes if they win or lose. All right. So why are we taking this thing that serious? Right. Some people, honestly, in their lives maybe are lacking something. And so now they're exaggerating and just being overcompensating with these contests. So let's not do that. Let's really just enjoy this, man, and have a blast. And with that, I hope that helps, man. I mean, I don't want to just keep repeating myself and saying the same thing, but this is very important. We want to create an environment where everyone feels like they want to participate in these contests because they are valuable. You can learn. And then, and let's be clear too. I'm going to be real. And a lot of people don't want me to say this. But some of these Toastmasters contests, and I love Toastmasters, so this is no disrespect to Toastmasters, but I'm just being honest. Some of the way that there's like these Toastmaster type speeches, like these international speeches, how they have like these cookie cutter, tell 3 points and then recap and conclude, or, this sandwich method of a speech, start out, get their attention, go into your story, and then you conclude and give them 1 point on how it relates. Look, let me tell you something. That stuff is good. And it's so good that I teach it. However, that does not work in a lot of places in the real world. Okay? Because in the real world, when you're really out, people don't want to hear you talk a lot of times. They're not trying to listen to a speech. They're probably distracted on their phones. I've spoken in prisons where I had to speak to the inmates. I have over 30,000 inmates that work for me as I was a contractor in the prisons at Cook County Jail. I've spoken at colleges where I was the lead administrative rep, where I was recruiting people that were taking their GED test, and I would try to recruit them and tell them why they should, go to college once they pass their GED. So I've done sales in almost any type of arena, and many times, most people don't really just want to listen to these cookie cutter, super rehearsed speeches because they don't feel genuine and they can get very boring. So I'm not trying to knock those speeches. What I'm saying is let's stop overemphasizing putting extra sauce on what this contest does, because it is important, but this is just one element. Stop acting like this is the holy grail and the last element all you need to succeed and achieve. No, some of these same speeches that you're going to learn, you go out into the real world, it'll help you get into the door, but you're going to have to learn some whole other skills about how to be more spontaneous, how to really connect and relate to people outside of just the cookie cutter approach. So why I still think you all should join these contests, and I'm going to continue to do them because I like it, because it's fun and I can challenge myself. And in fact, if you're a contestant, let me tell you this: sometimes challenge yourself in a different way. Like now, if I enter a contest, I'm no longer doing it because I just want to win a trophy and I want to be the best. I'm doing it because I know contest season helped me get in shape. Because when I'm competing on stage, I know I have to start detoxing my body because I want my skin to look good. I want people to feel my energy from all the way in the back of the room. And so because I want to really look good and really impact people that physically, and my health, I want my health to be so strong. I'll enter the contest just kind of as a challenge to as a catalyst to for me to start working out and getting my body and my mind and my spirit strong, and I'll start eating right. It's almost like getting prepared for a fight. So I like it just because it puts me in prime peak state just to be myself, but not necessarily, my goal isn't to necessarily win those trophies, because I determine if it's a winning experience or not. And so I'm going to encourage you. You got to find your own victory. You got to determine what needs to happen to make this a winning situation for you. Because I know people who get trophies and you don't hear about them and they don't do anything, right? And then I know some people that get the trophy and then they write books, and then they make this become their career, and they use their testimony to help people. So it's all about what you do with it once you get it. Even if you don't get the trophy, just about your story. It's about creating these testimonies. So look at it from that standpoint. What's your testimony, man? So with that, my testimony, I would say, is I joined Toastmasters because I was a young guy from Chicago. I was a young guy from Chicago that was very afraid to speak and had a lot of communication issues, and I wanted to become a better salesperson. So I joined Toastmasters, did very well at the beginning, but I created a lot of pressure and stress for myself. I wasn't being gentle on myself, and eventually I got burned out, and then I had to reinvent myself and come back and just really start having fun and just being authentically myself. And through the process of being in Toastmasters, man, I met some amazing people. And I realized that the greatest thing you can do with these contests is really establish amazing relationships and really just grow as a person based on who you want to be and who are you becoming through the process of being in a Toastmaster. So I hope that makes sense. That's just a little bit. I encourage you. I got a book too. My books should be in the description. We show people all sorts of personal development, how to develop everything from communication, leadership skills, etc. So get the books, look at the courses below. And if you want me to ever come out and speak at your event, organization, or whatnot, contact me and we'll set it up and make that happen. So I'm your platform partner, your hustling homie, and I look forward to seeing you grow and do what you do the best way that you do it. I want to support you in that process. So I'm Jackson 360, and I'll see you on the stage, baby. Yeah.